I think Andy Coulson's resignation was inevitable from the moment that Nick Davis first wrote his piece, which was back in July 2009, when he revealed that there had been secret payments made to the Professional Football Association, Gordon Taylor, to stop him from taking legal action. And from that moment, when it was apparent that other people in the newsroom of the News of the World had been involved in the commissioning or transcription or editing of phone hacking, I think it was inevitable that Andy Coulson's position at the head of the Tory party communication chain was doomed.
Things went badly wrong under my editorship of the News of the World. I deeply regret it. I suspect I always will. I take the blame because ultimately it was my responsibility. And I'm not asking for any sympathy. I suspect I'm unlikely to get any today. But when I resigned, I gave up a 20-year career with News International and in the process everything that I'd worked towards from the age of 18.
I think News International must be wanting the pain to end. There are a number of legal cases coming down the slipway, and I think the question for them is, if they're really trying to get to the bottom of what happens, is what are they going to do about those legal cases, and is it true that they're paying the former private investigator who went to prison, Glenn Malcare's legal costs at the moment? Because if on one hand they're saying they want to get to the bottom of it and they have zero tolerance to wrongdoing, and yet with the other hand people suspect that they are paying the one person who has the evidence in order not to reveal it in court, that is again an unsustainable position.
The question was, is the Right Honourable Gentleman entirely satisfied that whilst Mr Coulson was editor of the News of the World, at no time was Mr Coulson aware of any use of unlawful phone hacking? Yes or no?
The Deputy Prime Minister. Mr Speaker, Mr Coulson has made it quite clear that he had no knowledge and he refutes all the allegations.
I don't know anybody working in Fleet Street who believes that an editor could have remained in ignorance. I think it's surprising that David Cameron has stuck by Andy Coulson this long. If news reports are to be believed, as late as Wednesday evening he was still trying to persuade him to stay and couldn't see the need for him to go. I think this is the result of 18 months of really serious first-class investigative work by one reporter, Nick Davis, who has been writing about these kinds of stories for 2 or 3 years, but really it's taken 18 months of incredibly dogged work, and everything he has written on this story has turned out to be true. I think there are some people who think that Coulson going will draw a line under the end of the story, but there are too many court cases still running and too many questions about the behaviour of News International and the police for anyone to imagine that this is going to be the end of the story.